them are fighting each other, you know, and that's beautiful. You know, the Most High basically made it to where Ishmael, you know, fighting. You grabbing something? Looking for something?
No, I still got to what you asked me.
Okay, matter of fact, what was that? Ecclesiastes 10, 8 and 10.
8 and 11.
Can you hold that? Grab 2nd Esdras 16, and I believe it's verse 35, where it says the Carmanians raging. Yeah. But the Most High made it to where, you know, you got Ishmael fighting with each other. You know, Ishmael, you think all this, you know, so-called Negroes, you know, they put on a bow tie, sell some bean pies and some grapes and some fruit and stand in the street and hand out final calling paper. You think they look at y'all as the same, you know, y'all brothers? No, they don't. They don't. You know, so they don't care about you, just like they don't care. They'll blow themselves up because prophecies
for their sect,
for a religion that
15,
we made.
Yeah, 15 and 30.
That's funny. They blowing themselves over a religion that we made. We made that Quran stuff, and we wrote some beautiful stuff in there. Man, I need to write another Quran. I'm gonna write another prophecy, you know, and say, you know, go blow yourself up in the desert somewhere. You know, Allah likes that shit. Keep doing it.
It didn't work for us back then because it wasn't time yet. You know, certain things had to play off, but now it's working.
God.
It backfired on during the time of the Holy Land when they you see the movie King of Heaven with Saladin and everything like that. But what was that? It was Khadijah and and her cousin. They tried to get control of the Holy Land. And that's all it was. And they said let's write these motherfuckers up because you know they know we know they are our cousins. Let's put something out here for they dumb ass. And they thought that shit blew up and went off like wildfire, man. Now you talking about Gabriel? It was he saw a vision with that. Right. This shit just flew.
Yeah, and that goes to show you that we knew who we were back then during the Byzantine Empire.
I got the scripture real quick. This is I'm gonna read this Genesis 16 and 11. It says, "And the angel of the Lord said unto her," it's talking about Hagar, "Behold, thou art with child, and thou shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction." And then verse 12. It says because she was put out from Abraham. Well, actually, Sarah didn't want her ass around because she said that woman won't have partake with my she won't partake of what my son is going to get. He's not going to be king over this, you know. So because he's the firstborn, he's not going to take that. So what the Lord say? Lord told her, hey, don't worry about it because what is prophecy? It was something that had to be done, you know. So this is verse 12. It says he will be a wild man. It says his hand will be against every man, and ain't these camel jockeys? Ain't they hand against every man? Like especially him and Esau, they clash, but they friends in the same breath. You know, they frenemies. Right. You know, they gonna deal with each other. You know, they gonna hate the Negroes. You know, Latinos and Native Americans. But they really got the secret discuss for each other. But look, they control the world. They deal with somebody. That's how America's gonna happen to America. It's gonna be broken apart, bro. They ain't gonna be able to roll no more. But they have a relationship where you come over here and get your oil, you get your gas stations, you get your convenience stores. But now that shit running out. I see Ishmael all at my job. You know. They ain't get that shit like they used to, man. Hey, and a lot of them, like the brother said, a lot of them are out of the church, which are the so-called Jews that took on that type of language, that type of heritage, they took on Islam, you know. So let me read it again. It says, Genesis 6:12, it says, and he will be a wild man. And they wild, man, blowing, like the brother said, blowing up themselves. That's wild. Shit. Just to get 7 people. You know, just to get 7 people, maybe, to get one, to blow up a market, to stand into a market there, Agora, where everybody is at, and step there and blow themselves up, or a woman would do it. You just blow yourself apart, idiot. You know, they don't take the scripture that we got to take in hand and say, wait on the Lord when this day comes. You know, because he would, the Most High would defend you, but that's to let you know they don't have that power that's with them. So they got to just take it in their own hands. They kill 6 people, 3 people by blowing themselves up. So, and they wanted their part of this 5 because they killed themselves. Wow. They are 6, you know, idiots. You know, and the oil, the regions they receive is their blessing. Let me finish this off for the brother can keep going. And it said he will be a wild man. His hand should be against every man, and every man hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Right. So he dealing with he dealing with all the in that Middle East. He got all the nations that's basically kindred with Ishmael. You know, so he got all type of, you got the Midianites out there. You got you got Elam. You get the brothers. Right. You got all the other sects of Hebrews that's out there. You know, so go ahead, bro.
It's cool.
Molly saying great day.
All right.
Can you grab that?
Grab it.
Second Ezra 15 and 30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath.
Carmanians are basically Elamites. Go ahead.
Shall go forth as the wild boar of the wood, and with great power shall thou come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragon have the upper hand. Remember their nature. And if
what's the nature of Ishmael?
being a wild man.
Right, being a wild man. If y'all think we so-called Jake does drugs, those Ishmaelites, they do a lot of hard drugs, but they can take that. They can, like, not just that hookah stuff. They be doing crack, meth, coke. Because you think mainly when you say a crackhead, you think somebody just strung out, just staggering on the street, talking to themselves. Those are functioning crackheads. They can function, they can handle that stuff. And yeah, a lot of those mercenaries that be over there in Afghanistan or Syria, a lot of them, they just give them a little coke, say you can rape some women, and then that's enough for them. That's like, man, I can get some coke, I can rape women, that's like their adrenaline rush. And then also too, a lot of so-called Arabs, they gas stations, they be selling drugs, coke, to Jake. A lot of them, you hear about them in Detroit, been raided, or they stop it, selling crack pipes, selling loose cigarettes, stuff like that, So these so-called Arabs or Amalekite, whatever the hell these sand camel jockers, are, basically they wild, they're against us. The Most High isn't with us. Can you grab that Ecclesiastes 8 and 10?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 10. If the iron be blunt, and he doth not, what?
No, you're reading the wrong thing, guy. Can I read something real fast?
Go ahead.
This is 2 Maccabees 12 and 10. And this is about the Arabians coming up against our brethren, the Maccabees. It says, now when they were going from thence 9 furlongs in their journey towards Timotheus, no fewer than 5,000 men on foot and 500 horsemen of the Arabians set upon him. Whereupon there was a very sore battle, but Judah's side, by the help of the Most High, got the victory. So that nomads of Arabia, being overcome, besought Judas for peace, promising both to give him cattle and to pleasure him otherwise.
Break down.
Yeah, so the Arabians have been on the opposition of us for a while, man. Trying to fight and come up against us, man.
Grab that.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 10. And so I saw the wicked buried who had come, and gone from the place of the holy, and there were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This also vantage. Verse 11, because the sentence against an evil work is not executed expediently, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right, so just because you see these so-called, other nations, and even some of our people, committing, all types of sin, just like the brother brought out, envy not the oppressor, choose none of his way. Just because you see them, sin, and they don't, nothing happens to them, it's just because it hasn't happened yet. That's basically what he's saying. Read it one more time.
Because the sentence against an evil work is not executed expediently, therefore the heart of the sons of man is fully set in them to do evil.
Right, because it's not happening right away. So they're like, man, maybe the Most High really ain't watching. Maybe we can keep doing this. Because when something happens immediately, that's when basically you stop. But it said because it doesn't happen right away. Like for instance, let's say you playing basketball and you go out of bounds. Immediately right after that, they say, turnover. So you see the errors of your ways. But then there's some stuff, like let's say in boxing, where you fight, where the referee might let you get away with something for a little while. You like, man, he letting me get away with it. I'm not going to stop. Let me keep, hit him in the back of his head or rabbit punching him, because there's nothing, there's no immediate consequence to my behavior right there at this time. Just like, let's say smoking cigarettes. You smoke one cigarette, you're not going to get cancer that day. You're going to get cancer, later or whatever the Most High, decide to plague you with, And so you like, man, you know what? Maybe I can keep doing this. But if you were to catch cancer right then and there when you smoke a cigarette, you wouldn't do it. But it's because nothing happens to you right at that particular moment. Keep reading. Right after this. Gotcha. So you good.
Though a sinner do evil, verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, his days be prolonged. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
Read that one more time.
Which one?
Oh, that last verse.
That last verse? Okay, 12.
Oh, 12.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 12. Though a sinner do an evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged.
So just because somebody sins constantly, you look at the so-called kingdom of the so-called white man, you would think this is going to keep going. Why ain't karma affecting so-called white people? I believe in karma, but how come you see all these white people that can kill and gun down innocent black people, and nothing happens to them? Read that one more time.
Okay.
Why does this happen?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 12. Though a sinner do an evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged.
So just like your George Zimmermans, your Darren Wilson.
That simple nigga that's always selling drugs.
Yeah. Right.
That simple nigga that's selling drugs all the time, man.
Exactly.
All the time. And you never see him go down. You always see him prospering, and you sweat, but you think it's prospering. The Most High said, though he do it 100 times, what?
And his days be prolonged.
And his days be prolonged, so he ain't got killed. Yeah, he 50 years old and still selling heroin and dope in the neighborhood. He more reserved now, though. Go ahead.
Yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
So the ones that fear the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's going to be well with him. But go ahead.
Which fear before him.
Yeah, right.
But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall.
No matter how long you see these men prospering and going through the so-called white man beyond, and anybody else that's doing wickedness against the men of the Lord, or the men of the Lord, or just wickedness that's against his people, because it's really about his people. It's really about the elect, about this whole thing. But if you see them doing wickedness in this world still, because you don't see nothing happen to them, wait.
And the Amorites, their iniquity wasn't fulfilled. They keep the Most High allowed iniquity of the Amorites, fulfilled.
Hey, to this time, right? All the way to this day, because he was the first one. He said he was he had he had war with Amalek. He said he gonna have war with Amalek forever.
The Amorites.
I mean, he said Amorites.
Yeah,
Well, the Amorites are lucky. I think he said,
Okay.
I'm going split. But Amorites, well, the Amorites, that's cool too.
Right.
Because we had, that's a long surfer because Amorites is the one that's, Amalek is holding it down at this moment. Ruling.
Kind of
But the Amorites, Salaki on the Amorites.
I think Genesis 15 or Genesis
Kinda.
12.
15, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
kinda.
it said.
Go ahead, bro. Go with the priest.
Okay. All right. This is 2 Maccabees
I know.
chapter 6 and verse 14. For not as with other nations whom the Lord Yahweh patiently forbeareth to punish till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he.
Salaki, start over.
Okay, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 14. For not as with other nations whom the Lord Yahweh patiently forbeareth to punish till they become to the fullness of their sins.
See, to put the time, because the fullness of the time of the so-called white man is coming up, and it's coming up quick, real fast. So he let this man go back into his wickedness for another 500 years. And so read that again, and so I can get this point I want out of it.
Okay, 2 Maccabees 6 and verse 14. For not as with other nations whom the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai patiently forbeareth to punish.
Right, he waited. That's he forbeareth to punish them in that time because he didn't come swiftly. So the Most High, in Scripture that say he's long suffering, meaning he takes us a while before he takes your ass out, before you get put out of this